Norm he used to say, like, after 2 years
off with a hunting knife there, buddy.
Yeah, well. After 2 years with a Norm show, he was like, you know, fuck, I got enough money, like, fuck being the richest guy in L.A. I got enough money to be the richest guy in, like, Spokane, Washington. You know, and it's just like...
Because you go on the road, and you know, the guy would drive you to the club. You'd be in some little town somewhere, right. You know, and then the guy would be driving you past, and then you see this fucking huge palace with 8 cars, you know, and they go, that's Roy Johnson's house, richest man in town. Why, that house costs over $100,000.
Wow. So the plan was, I got so much money from my sitcom.
Yeah, I'll just be the richest guy in this little place. And, that's Norm MacDonald lives there.
Do you miss?
Why, he fucked my daughter.
Do you miss the days of the sitcom? Do you miss that kind of money, that action? I mean, that was tremendous. I mean, you didn't have to do a whole lot, and you got a lot of money. Right?
You got to do. That's a misconception. If you're the star of the show,
there's a lot for you to do.
As a supporting actor on a sitcom is literally stealing money.
You were stealing money.
Yes, but he had a lot.
Do you miss it? Do you miss the sitcom?
I already had a good job.
Did you miss the pay? Do you miss the going to the studio? It's exciting, right? You don't miss it.
No, I don't miss it. I miss the people. It sounds like faggot. But I love Artie, I love Laurie Metcalf, and I love Max Wright. So,
right. You don't call Artie that much, do you?
Well, I'd say about once a month.
Once a month you guys speak on the phone?
It's not awkward? We try to talk.
Is it uncomfortable speaking to Artie now?
No, I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you have to, you know, be careful, you know, what you say. It's like,
really?
He gets touchy, right?
No, I'm saying the same way that Letterman doesn't want to talk to you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you got 4 hours to fill, so you got to sometimes be careful.
I see. Really?
Even though I have probably nothing of scandal.
I can't imagine what those conversations are. I just can't.
Unbelievable.
Well, look, you've done it all. You know MacDonald. What's the plan for the rest of the day?
That's when you have nothing to say.
You're going to do the show.
You've done it all.
You've done
You're
it all.
Norm MacDonald. That says my name. That's when you know the interview's coming to a halt. So what else?
Now, what is the game
plan? It says here you're Norm MacDonald.
What is the game plan for the rest of the day? You're going to do some shows at Sirius.
Yeah.
After you're done with those shows,
people in those seats.
You're going to take. You're going to take a nap.
I don't think I can take a nap. My hotel room's not ready. They said till 4 or 5.
You couldn't get the room the day before, and so
I should have. Yeah.
That might have worked out better for you.
Well, let me ask you. Artie says on the road he doesn't know what to do with himself. What do you do when you're on the road in some little town?
Yeah, what do you do?
Like, I only like the time that I'm on stage, you know, because other than that, like,
what do you do when you have to kill time? Do you play chess?
Other than being a fucking other than the hour you're on stage, you're basically a fucking drifter.
Yeah, that's true.
So most of the time you're trying to find food, and these fucking towns think they're interesting, and so you go, this is what they find the most interesting. You go, hey, what is there to do in your fucking shit town? So then they go, you got to see the Galleria.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm from L.A.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen Galleria.
A guy in Houston.
Last year, a guy shot everyone at the Galleria.
A guy in Houston told me that once. He said, first of all, it's a 400-pound guy. It was May in Houston. Like, the sweat was dripping off me. I had to, the club guy told me, take a cab. Like, I'll pay you for it. There's no car.
Right.
So I get in a cab in Houston. It's like 140 degrees. This guy's got a huge flannel shirt on. Hey. And he says hi. I say hi. He goes, you're a New Yorker, huh? And I'm like, well, I'm from there. And he goes, we got a place in town. It's just like Greenwich Village. And I said, really? And he says, yeah, but there's no fags. And I said, well, what is it? He goes, and he said, it's the Galleria. And I went, it was a mall.
With a hockey rink. It had a hockey rink.
But there were no fags.
Yeah,
he was right.
Yeah.
Listen.
I put my hand on a bunch of guys' fucking legs, and they all said, what's your problem?
So you really have the same problem Artie does, in the sense that you have to kill a lot of time in your career.
Well,
this crazy boredom.
But you never got into heroin or crack or any of this stuff that Artie does to kill time.
I never to kill time?
Yeah.
To kill me.
Is that the point?
Yeah,
just to kill some time?
You know, it's funny.
Well, that's what he's doing. He hates it. He kills time.
Wait a minute. I don't think he's doing it to kill time.
You're not a drug guy, though, are you?
Well, in a way, everything. You know, one time when I had the gambling fucking thing,
right.
I went to a psychiatrist, and he said, you're doing it to like avoid life.
Right.
So I was like, isn't that why you do every fucking thing there is? You know what I mean? Like, that's why you go to work and you get.
In a sense, that is life, right?
Me and
Yeah.
Life is avoiding.
Was gambling your thing? Like, in other words, it took your mind off of all your issues and all that kind of stuff. It was your
It's a complete escape. But then the thing that you do to escape your problem becomes the fucking problem.
I always worried about you because I always had a feeling you were always losing too. Like you weren't very good at gambling, but you would constantly bet on the wrong
Gabe
teams.
Kaplan?
Yeah, you know Gabe Kaplan.
No.
You know, like
well, you can't win if you gamble.
Poker, not even. You can't win that.
You can win poker if you want to.
Yeah, but you never win.
No, I don't think you. I don't. It's a complicated thing, but I don't think
sit down and
gamblers
figure
want to
out-
win. I remember one time I heard Omar Sharif talking about it, and a couple times in my life I've been dead broke from gambling.
Right.
And he said this thing that I found like I related to because he said I lose $6 million. He was talking about the most money he lost. I don't know.
And God only knows how he got $6 million.
Yeah, he got
By the way,
that.
dead on impression.
I know, it's good, right?
Excellent, Omar Sharif. Yes.
Look forward to Caroline.
But he was a big gambler, big bridge player.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
Yes.
So he says, one time I lose $6 million. He goes, I go across the street to a coffee shop and I get the coffee. I have $1 left. I get the coffee. He goes, I feel clean.
And
I understand what he means.
What does that mean?
Means when you lose everything, you're alive.
In other words, you don't feel alive unless there's some great tragedy or
No, it's
something
not
big.
a tragedy to have nothing.
Right.
I mean, don't you feel like sometimes when you're building a house, you're just walling yourself into a mausoleum?
Right.
Well, if you don't have that house,
You're free.
you're free.
You're free.
Now,
Of course, you'll freeze
What is
to
the
death.
most? Do you ever sit down and figure out how much money you lost?
No.
Do you know what your biggest loss was?
No, I don't give a fuck about money.
You do too. You know
I
what
know.
your
Well,
biggest
you know
loss
what?
was.
No, I
No,
care
should we
enough
tell the
about-
story about my guy I hooked you up with? It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago
What's
now.
this one?
Fran?
No, shut the.
Hit the button.
Oh, we can't say who it
I
is.
No,
hit the
no,
button.
no,
I hit
just
the
no
button.
name.
I hit
Just
the
no
button.
name.
All right.
So
happened?
I
You
was a
hooked Norm up to
I
it?
was a bad influence on Norm, I think, and maybe because when we met each other,
And I'm the enabler.
When you shoot
Yeah.
when you shoot a buddy comedy like it was,
Yes.
you go away with someone to a different city for like 2 months. It's like going away to camp. So you're either gonna hate the person or love them. And me and Norm became friends because we shared one vice, gambling.
Gambling.
And I used to love gambling. And
I used to love. 2 days ago, he was gambling.
Right, yeah,
right.
used to.
the first night I met Norm, the rehearsals, we went to a pool hall in Toronto, and I won $2,000 off him playing 9-ball.
That's right.
And he ended up paying me in Canadian money. It was like a wheelbarrow, like blue pieces of paper with a goose on it.
Yeah, they don't have presidents.
You have no
Right.
respect for the Canadian.
That's when you bribe somebody in Canada, you're like, maybe this goose will change your mind.
And it really looks like Monopoly money. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with this?
Right.
Back then, when the dollar was good, it was like a wheelbarrow.
So what's
what
the big
happened
story?
was,
Yeah.
we shot Dirty Work August into the fall, and
Right.
Norm was still on Saturday Night Live. And I started, in lieu of other things, halfway through the shoot, I started phoning this kid I know who was a runner for a bookie. So I start calling this guy, and I'm making a lot of bets. And see, Norm wasn't gambling at the time. He was really into work. He was shooting the film, and he was going back to SNL. The last few weeks, he had to go do SNL.
All
and the
right, he's
movie,
busy.
Right. But I think because I was always with him talking on the phone, he sort of was like, yeah, you got a guy. And I said, yeah, I got a guy. He goes, can I have his number? Because I want to maybe start putting some bets in. So this bet that ruined...
Too degenerate.
This bet that ruined me and Norm, because when we went on the road and I opened for Norm, and this is what we did. You talk about killing time. This was a problem. We got introduced to this thing called a lightning bet. Now, what a lightning bet is, say you know what the under-over is in a basketball game, the total amount of points the two teams score. So say it's 180.
Okay.
Right? If you lightning $1,000 on the over, when they hit 180, every fucking point they score after that, you win $1,000.
Oh, I like that.
So it's like sick.
Nice.
That's
like,
free money.
It's sick. Every layup is $2,000. So like if it's at 180 when they go into overtime, every single basket's $2,000.
Fantastic.
It's insanity. But
Yeah.
every point it's under 180, you lose 1,100 because of the vig.
Right.
Okay, so it's craziness.
Right.
It really is like
That's a dangerous bet.
right. It's a dangerous.
It's a